In 2013, the Louisiana College Wildcats and Texas Lutheran Bulldogs played one of the more exciting games in Division III for all of that season. The Wildcats would tie the game on a last-second play, winning it in overtime, and it almost looked as though the game would end the same way here today when the teams renewed what has become a fantastic non-conference rivalry.
Easton Melancon and the LC Wildcats looking to avenge last year's 37-27 loss to TLU at Seguin, and the Wildcats hoping that they could bounce back from a loss at Alcorn last week. Some former players in attendance, including Demario Parker, enjoying a moment with his favorite coach, Clay Matchett, before the game. The Wildcats led out by Bo Brewer, the defensive heart and soul player for these Wildcats, and that defense would get tested early on in this game against a very talented and disciplined Texas Lutheran offense. Also getting tested on this day, LC's offensive line, seniors Brandon Porsche and Ethan Downs serving as captains for the contest. 1, 2, 3, to the house. The Bulldogs waste no time getting their first touchdown of the game. Marquise Barol capping off a 9-play, 88-yard drive that puts Texas Lutheran up 7-0. The Wildcats are still in the process of trying to find the replacement for Ryan Montague, using 3 freshmen at points at running back in this game. One of those, Orrin Cooksey, fumbling here, and it's recovered by TLU's Michael Wall at the 50-yard line. The Wildcat defense would hold next possession another freshman, Devin Silv. He puts it on the ground, and once again Wall recovering, this time at the LC 36-yard line. The Bulldogs will need just 4 plays to make the Wildcats pay for that mistake, and it's Barol getting his second touchdown of the game, that one from 1 yard out, capping the short 4-play 36-yard drive, and the Bulldogs lead it quickly in the game, 14-0.
This is fun! Let it be fun!
2 years ago, when the Wildcats got down big early in the first half to TLU, it was then sophomore Ira Jewett who had a big breakout moment with a kickoff return that got the Wildcats back in the game. Meet a new breakout player for the Wildcats, freshman Jacoby Davis, getting pushed out of bounds, but not before returning that kick 68 yards to the Texas Lutheran 29. It will take the Wildcats just 2 plays to score. First, Melancon hooking up with Kyle Galyon, this 25-yard gain, taking it down to the 4-yard line. And the Wildcats will punch it in on the next play. Once again, Melancon back to pass, hooking up with Ladarius Gardner, who makes the catch for the 4-yard touchdown, and the Wildcats, for the first time on the scoreboard, now trail 14-7. And this is a little of what the LC defense was facing in that first quarter, with Barol seemingly tackled, somehow spinning out of it, takes it 25 yards down to the LC 14 as we head to the second quarter with the score 14-7 TLU. The Wildcat defense will bow up as Bo Brewer makes the play here. Barol trying to get past him, but not going to get past the sure tackling Bo Brewer. Texas Lutheran having to settle for the field goal, but this one is no good, and so the Wildcats remain down by 7. Back on offense, and it's Melancon showing a little bit of that determination that is making him a future All-American quarterback at LC. A few plays later, the Wildcats going to the bag of tricks with Coach Dunn, the flea flicker, Brandon Smith to Melancon, and finding Shed Davis for the touchdown. 46 yards on the play, and the Wildcats had tied the game at 14 with 12-17 left in the first half. On the ensuing kickoff, some good special teams play for the Wildcats, as C.J. Hawkins with a nice tackle on Chance Singletary. But TLU starting to move the football again, and again they go to Barol. The Bulldogs' little keg of dynamite, all 5'4", 150 pounds of him.
We gotta suck it up.
With 3 touchdowns in the first half, a combined 143 yards of passing and receiving, as the Wildcats find themselves down again 21-14. And you can really see the heat of the day. Temperatures in the low 90s, starting to take a toll on the Wildcat defense, which was on the field nearly twice as much as TLU's defense was in the first half.
The heat did play a factor, but at the same time, we got to suck that up. You know, defensively, it's white shirt pride. We go through anything. It don't matter what it is. Offense, I know they're gonna go out there and perform. So that's no excuse.
So the Wildcats trailing at 21-14. Melancon trying to get his team back on the scoreboard before the end of the half. Nice pass there, 22 yards for Ladarius Gardner. But the Wildcat drive will stall, having to settle for the field goal. Comes from the leg of Adon Oliveras. From 37 yards out, not the prettiest field goal, but it still counts for 3, and the Wildcats down 21-17. With 1:05 left in the half, TLU not conceding. They want to try to get more points, and why not when you've got Burrell? Here, a gain of 24 yards, takes it out to the 46-yard line. A few plays later, the Bulldogs turning that into points when Trenton White hits Dustin Hannon from 29 yards out, and Lutheran extending their lead to 11, 28-17. With 8 seconds left in the half, the Wildcats will get one more opportunity, and they try to pass the ball down the field. Melancon with a bit of a desperation pass here, and it will be intercepted by Drake Dowling. That ends the first half with the Wildcats trailing 28-17. So with the Wildcats trying to find a way to regroup, the LC Marching Band entertains the fans who showed up for this one. As the third quarter gets underway, the Wildcat defense determined to show that the first half was not their normal level of play. Landon Henry making the stop there, and then the Wildcat defense combining to bring down Burrell once again, and TLU would be forced to punt.
Left foot and gyro on the stop.
Now it's time for the Wildcat offense to help out that defense by moving the football. And it's Shed Davis taking the pass from Melancon for 33 yards up to the 45. Next play, the freshman running back Cooksey. He busts through the line and takes this one 19 yards into TLU territory down to their 36. Melancon will look for and find Jake Dunbar. That's another 12 yards. First down for the Wildcats at the TLU 24. Drive looks like it may stall when the Wildcats facing a fourth down situation, but Melancon running 8 yards takes it down to the 12-yard line. And finally, the Wildcats punching it in off the reverse. Brandon Smith giving to Gardner, and he takes it in for the score. That from 4 yards out, and the Wildcats back to within 4. It's now 28-24.
Ladarius Gardner.
It appears the Bulldogs will have an answer to that score for the Wildcats, as here White faking the handoff rushes 24 yards down to the LC 24. But on 4th and goal at the Wildcat 1-yard line, Burrell is stopped for a loss of 1. The Wildcat defense rising up not just on that play, but holding TLU scoreless the entire third quarter.
Your Wildcat defense with the stop.
But on TLU's next possession, extending into the fourth quarter now, Burrell starting to find his rhythm once again. Check out the hurdle he makes on that play. Burrell will cap another solid drive for TLU, one that goes 8 plays and 51 yards, with this the 7-yard touchdown run. Part of his 179-yard and 4-touchdown rushing game. Add in the receiving yards, 243 combined. Wildcats down by 11. Things not looking good for LC. That is until Melancon needs just 3 plays to move the Wildcats 70 yards for the score. Jake Dunbar capping it with this 35-yard touchdown catch. Just like that, the Wildcats back to within 3. It's 35-32. TLU will get 3 points back quickly, however, following a big kickoff return. Tyler Brandenburg capping another drive with a 37-yard field goal. So with 9:03 left to go, the Wildcats now trailing by 6, 38-32, certainly familiar territory. The Wildcats get the ball back, looking to make something happen, and Cooksey, with a nice effort, the stiff arm, as a 12-yard rush gets the Wildcats down to the TLU 35. Drive threatening to stall, though, when Melancon hooking up with Silv for the 8-yard gain. That takes it to the 27, but it does leave a 4th and 2 at the TLU 27. The Wildcats electing to go for it rather than kick a field goal. Unfortunately for LC, that won't work out. The pass to Silv in the flat. He's brought down short of the first down. TLU will take over with 7 minutes left to go in the game, nursing that 6-point lead. For Dennis Dunn, time to trust that defense to get his offense the football one more time. Similar situation to what we saw 2 years ago when the Wildcats had to stop TLU without giving up any more points, doing a good job there on the contain as Burrell was not able to get away. So it does come down to another kick. And like 2 years ago, Brandenburg missing. So the exact same scenario. The Wildcats down by 6 will get a final chance to come back and win.
I was, man. It's brought back memories for sure. You know, anytime our defense can get a stop and either settle for a field goal or get to where they miss, that's always a plus. And just on offense, we got to capitalize when we can.
Tell me what's kind of going through your mind at that point.
I'm like, Easton about to go out there and throw a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, right when I got the ball back, I knew we were going to win. I thought, well, I had the image in my mind that we were going to win the game.
So with 3:32 left, Melancon goes to work. First hooking up with Jake Dunbar. That's a gain of 10 yards to the 34. Melancon again will look for and find Kyle Galyon. That's a first down up near midfield. Melancon still at work over the middle, finding Ladarius Gardner, and Gardner takes it 22 yards down to the 28-yard line. The time starting to get precious. The Wildcats with no timeouts. Later in the drive, Melancon looking for a possible touchdown, but Jake Dunbar just not able to bring it in. Next play, Melancon looking for Dunbar again. Can't come up with a catch. Falls on the football. Briefly shaken up. He'd have to leave the game. That leaves a 3rd and 10 with 30 seconds left to go. Melancon back to pass. With the pressure, able to get it off for Cooksey. And Cooksey taking it down to the 4-yard line. Problem is for the Wildcats, it's 4th down. No timeouts. Dennis Dunn trying to tell Melancon you have to run a play. But flag is thrown. And the play is stopped with 6 seconds left. What will the call be here for the Wildcats? It ends up being disaster. A sideline interference call, 5 yards, but more importantly, a 10-second runoff ends the game in stunning fashion. The Wildcats, with their hearts broken, lose the game 38-32.
There was a little confusion with the sideline, but me and Coach Dunn were on the same page. He thought that I was going to spike it. But we just need to figure that out and work on it for next week.
I could not get his. I was just trying to get his attention, and you know, he was going to spike it if it was and game over. So I mean, it was just end of the game situation that you practice those things, but you never think they're going to come back to bite you.
This was personal for me today. They took our dream last year. And they came to our house and they just outplayed us. So we just got to capitalize. We got to move on, get this game behind us, and move on for next week.
It's just a huge, huge learning experience. We're going to get on film like we always do. We're going to press forward. We're going to find out what it is that need to be fixed, and we're going to fix it. We got to keep going. It sucks. It sucks. But like it is when we win, we got a 24-hour rule. And 24 hours up, we got to put it behind us and look forward to the next team and just keep going.
And for the Louisiana College Wildcats, the task gets no easier with what lies ahead of them. 3 straight road games, one of which will be at number 4, Wesley College, and at number 2, Mary Hardin Baylor. The Cats will certainly find out what they're made of over the next month. Reporting from Wildcats Stadium, I'm Al Quartermont for WildcatsMedia.com and for D3Football.com.